for 2 years, I've been thinking about going to American University to interview students about Adderall. A couple years ago, I did a few of these on-the-street interviews. All right, so what do you think about amphetamines for ADD?
I don't know much, but if it helps, I think it would be a great thing.
Sam, what is your opinion on amphetamines for attention deficit disorder?
Oh man, I mean, I kind of think Ritalin and Adderall are semi-amphetamines on their own. I mean,
Adderall is an amphetamine.
I mean, in that case, then I'm all for it if you really need it. But I know a lot of college students who definitely abuse Adderall, so.
Okay, now, flash forward 2 years. First person I went up to, he was wearing a beret. He probably was wearing a beret. They told me they were on medication, but not ADHD medication. They said not target audience. I said, well, not audience. I'm looking for, and he said, this is over. And next thing I went to was like, oh, I gotta get a pretzel, but like, good luck, bro. And there was like a, second guy needed to get a pretzel. And then I'm like thinking to myself, this is so weird. I don't know what to do. What I'm doing is weird. I walk by a group of 4 dudes, and he's like, oh yeah, well, I was prescribed ADHD meds. And I was like, and I walked by and I closed my eyes and I was like, yeah, talk to them. What are you guys' names?
My name is Benjamin Chow.
My name is Moses Rubin.
Moses Rubin. You guys agreed to be on my channel, right?
That's cool. Yeah, all this good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was walking around, literally for no reason, coming to American University thinking to talk about ADHD medications, and these guys were having a conversation about it. So you were telling me just now that you took them?
I did. I took ADHD medication probably from middle school until now. I've been on and off of it, but yeah, I've been taking it for majority of my life, I would say.
And you were diagnosed ADHD. Like, what were you doing in middle school that made it happen?
So this is the controversy of where I don't think I should have been on it. I was just kind of not motivated to do work because I also have a learning disability. So school in general was just very hard to just, do things. It was hard to focus, and I guess like the way of just not thinking of school was to just like zone off and think about other things. So I think I guess that trauma or that kind of school, like, oh, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to do this, like made me like zone out, get in trouble and do things that,
the trauma of school?
Yeah, trauma of school, I feel like, is what made me zone out.
So I want to ask you something too, because I was diagnosed when I was 7.
Okay.
In 1990, I'm 37. I'm an old man, but they I'm almost 40. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But one of the things that being told you have ADHD, do you feel that made you sort of limit your own beliefs about your academic capabilities? Did them telling you that affect you? Because for me,
yeah, I would say yeah.
I would say as well, yeah.
So a psychiatrist telling you something wrong with you didn't help?
Yeah, well, I would say so pretty much so I got diagnosed second semester of my sophomore year. And so what kind of started it was I had this class freshman year with this like teacher that was very not many people liked him, to be honest. But I remember he pulled me into class like after school one day. Because I was pretty disruptive during his class. I would always talk out and all this stuff. And I was like that, but I try to be likable towards everyone. But I remember distinctly he pulled me into class after school one day and just asked me like, what are you on? Like, what are you taking for whatever you have? Which I felt obviously was like pretty disrespectful.
Super animal.
Yeah, super out of line. My mom was really pissed. She sent him a whole email, all this stuff, like told the school, like, he got in a little bit of trouble for that, but then, I kind of still was having trouble beginning of high school, so I got tested at Dartmouth in my sophomore year, and then from there I started taking this medicine, obviously, Concerta.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was taking that and it would just make me feel super, anxious 24/7 all the time, and so then junior year I switched over to Vyvanse, and Vyvanse I would take it in the morning at 8, and then at around 4 o'clock every day when it was wearing off, I would just start getting super agitated, irritable, annoyed with people, which was just exactly, yeah. So I found that not only was the fact of saying oh, you have ADHD just made it seem and the fact that they also call it a disability is also just a whole nother level of I don't feel like I'm disabled whatsoever. I feel like I'm a fully capable person. But that label of a disability just kind of set me back 100%. and just alongside the medication also was just having negative effect on. Also, a big one was eating as well. I wasn't eating much at all, so I got pretty skinny. So then, I mean, as of I did not take it at all my senior year, and I actually found that I feel like I worked better, not only with other people, but even with myself when I wasn't taking it.
You say with other people, do you mean that like was it affecting your sociability?
Yeah, I feel like I was just super. It's such a weird feeling to describe because people who haven't taken, especially Vyvanse, like I don't think they would really understand. Yeah, they wouldn't really understand it. So it's kind of just like it's like drinking 3 energy drinks and then like you're just super amped up, like, and it just like sometimes I can annoy people in some sense, and I just think that not taking it has really like helped me be more social and be kind of like more the person who I am.
Absolutely. And you were saying too about the withdrawal that so you were on it for like 2 or 3 years?
Yeah,
I was
not that long.
Yeah, I was on it for a long time, and I wouldn't take it during the summers. And I would just feel like unmotivated to do things. But once you like leaped over that 2-week period of, I guess, withdrawal or dopamine, your dopamine levels like kind of even out.
Regulate.
Regulate because you're not on the medication. I felt perfectly normal. But once I'm here, I don't really take it as much.
In school?
I take it on days where I guess I have to get a lot of work done.
Yeah, you have
like,
the option.
Yeah, option to do it. But I don't take it like when I need, or every morning like I normally did. Like
Vyvanse to Adderall.
well, I take dextromethamphetamine.
Yeah, which is that Adderall
yeah.
chemically.
And then what else? And then Vyvanse. Yeah.
What do you guys study here?
Economics.
Business administration. I want to be a CEO. I promised my family that I'd be a billionaire. So it's a big goal.
Yeah, well, you could be a CEO and make no money.
Yeah, true. That's so true.
That's all.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I took it through college too. And what happens a lot you see is that people will take Adderall through college and they'll say, when I graduate, I can get off.
Yeah.
Not and then it's like, well, you've set an expectation. You've set a personal expectation of productivity that's unsustainable. Is that really challenging?
Yeah, it's not possible.
Because it's like when you're here to work, but also like no one's here to like tell you to go. No one's here to like. There's no teacher. There's no one telling you to do things. It's like you.
Oh, we just it's like get out of college.
Yeah, no. So it's like, so it's. I feel like here it's like, I don't know. It's just different. But
yeah.
And you guys, so you don't take them anymore? And I'm curious, like, as college students now, is there like a culture around Adderall or Vyvanse? Are they shared?
100%. There's a bunch of people who are like I've told people before, that like, yeah, I have ADHD and I used to take medication, and there are other people who will ask me like, oh, do you still have that medication? Can I please have some? And I'm like, honestly, if you don't have ADHD, you shouldn't be taking it, because I don't know what like the chemical, like how it works in your brain, but like
That's for someone with ADHD.
So it really doesn't do much.
They say that people with ADHD have lower dopamine, but your dopamine levels can fluctuate like the weather.
Yeah.
It can come and go. Because what amphetamine does is it increases your dopamine.
Oh, okay.
And norepinephrine.
Yeah.
And essentially what it's doing is making you feel good.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that feeling good makes you content with whatever's.
Oh, and that would explain why when it's wearing off, you feel like shit. Yeah, you don't want to do anything, and you're
tired,
like,
headache.
Yeah, and irritable. Just everyone just pisses you off. Yeah.
Different than methamphetamine.
Yeah. Oh, there's only one difference between meth.
One carbon atom.
Wow. I did not know that, but no, it seems pretty. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just like whenever people ask me like, do you have it? Can I buy some? I'm always just like, 1, I don't have any. 2, even if I did, I wouldn't sell it to you because I'd probably be taking it, and you shouldn't be taking it. Like, but I mean, I don't take it anymore for the reasons that I stated earlier. And I found like a huge change in my lifestyle after stopping taking it.
Respect.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, I have to agree with him. I mean, I only take it when I have a lot of work. So, I mean.
Well, what are you gonna do when you're out of college and you have a lot of work?
Don't know. I really don't know. It's a hard question to ask. But what I mean by a lot of work, I feel like it's just a lot of stuff that I just piled up, or assignments that I accidentally forgot, or just a long essay, something that I have to really sit for a long period of time.
I always figured like the application of it, because I was a daily taker from 7 till 20 or so, is like in case of project, break glass, because it has to belong somewhere. Maybe that's where it is.
But also, like, I felt more productive when I was not on it. Creativity was in my brain. My thoughts were able to move more clearly. Even though it's harder to focus, I felt like my brain worked normal. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but there was
like
more.
it was more natural.
thoughts.
And I think you're,
Yeah.
at least with me, you feel better about what you've done, that you actually do it. It sort of feels like you can't take credit for some of the things you might create on that route.
Sure, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and also I feel like when I did take it, I would be like all hyped up on the Vyvanse, and I would write my work within like, I'd have a paper and I'd finish the paper in a much shorter time than I usually do. But there was a lot less like thought into the paper. It's kind of just like, what was the first thing I thought of, and I'd write it down. So it's
Like using ChatGPT.
exactly like
the experience.
yeah, like I found the quality of the paper wasn't really that good. It was kind of just like a lot of like rambling on and all this stuff. And since I haven't been taking it, I found that the quality of my work has gone up, and I've put a lot more thought and time. Like, it takes longer, but I get better grades, and it's just like, I feel like the content on the page is a lot better than when I was taking it. I was just writing anything that came to mind. And also, to answer your question about like, if I have a lot of work and I, like in the future, if I have a lot of work and I need to figure out something to do, to get that done instead of taking ADHD medication, I think, as you said, it's like dopamine. It just raises your dopamine. So I think what's better is just to find natural things that will boost your dopamine, like just naturally, like things you enjoy doing, going out, something. Yeah, of course, like exercise, going for a run, anything that you can like naturally boost your own dopamine, instead of taking some sort of drug, I think is so much better. And I think that'll be like what I'm gonna do.
And also just with the medication, like ADHD companies in general, like these companies that are producing these type of medications, like it's also just a crazy business. Like, once at the end of the day, it's like, how are these guys profiting off people? Like, I feel like it's just, I feel like it's just messed up. Like, at the end of the day, like, they're creating this drug for these people to then become dependent because they're quote unquote disability or have a disability, which I don't think, I think is ridiculous. So
Yeah, and the whole
yeah, it's like, you know,
I feel like there's a big thing like online, just like especially around college. Like college students is like people make jokes about it online, and they're like, oh, I couldn't have gotten this work done without my Adderall, or like, how do I get a paper done in college? I slam Adderall and then I do my work immediately. And so that and so, but like, yeah, it also makes people who aren't diagnosed with ADHD feel like they need it. They feel like that's the answer to getting all their work done quickly and efficiently. But that's just completely false, and it's all about like managing your own time and being able to get things done the way you will be able to, like, on your own. Like, I completely, like, I think it's just really messed up how just like the whole idea behind, like, there's some views on college now where you need some medication to like get your work done.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Yeah. Then what happened was I said, okay, let's talk to professors. Psychology, psychiatry, there's got to be some. So I look online, find out which building it is. And I walk into the psychology building. And I went first with the administrative guy, and he was like, don't interview me. But go see what professors are here, walk in. And I said, if their doors are open, I can just walk in, talk to the professors. He's like, yeah, it's office hours. So the first one I went to, he was a developmental behaviorist, and he was really friendly and cool. And then I went to another guy who was like, I have a class in 2 minutes. And I was like, all right, don't worry about it. And then I went to another person. When I walked in, I said, hey, I know this is a little weird. I'm just talking about ADHD meds. And I wanted to see if anyone wants to can I interview them and learn about their knowledge? He said, I don't know anything about ADHD. I said, well, what's your field of study? He said, cognitive therapy, cognitive behavior. I said, well, I think ADHD does have some overlap with like thinking, And then she was like, are you a student? And I was like, no. She was like, are you with a student? And I was like, no. She's like, are you with an organization? And I was like, no. And she's like, what are you doing? Are you like, and I'm like, it is strange. I acknowledge that. I said, I am just coming to a university and I'm just popping in professors' doors because you guys are academia and this is where the knowledge is. And I thought she was about to call security. And she said something that if any of you watching are academics and you believe this, you should get out of academics. She said, I don't think you'll find anyone here who's going to tell you anything that you wouldn't find in a book. That's crazy. And what did I find was friendship. Because the next door I knocked on was a professor of psychology with an emphasis on drugs. Drugs, behavior, and environment. That was her thing. And she didn't want to be on camera. But she invited me into her office. She poured me a cup of coffee and an espresso. And her and I talked for over 2 hours, probably. I told her about we talked about ADHD meds. We talked about psychedelics. We talked about we talked about B.F. Skinner. We talked about psychiatry. Tons of stuff. It was as if it felt like two professors talking during lunch break, even though I'm a contractor, carpenter. And she didn't want to go on record. And she said because some of the things she was saying were her beliefs, and they weren't backed by science, and she didn't want to say them publicly. Essentially, when it came to medications, more or less the approach that sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. You know, I like talking about ADHD meds. It's my whole shtick. But along the way, I felt really weird at first. I was thinking, what am I doing? Am I really doing this? Am I really going to leave work, walk into a university where I'm not a student? I am almost 20 years older than a college student. Start talking to college students about drugs. I say, who wants to talk to me about drugs? Sit down with me and let's talk drugs. And then go into a building, college building. I am not a student. I am not a teacher. I'm not affiliated. I am a total guest. I just wandered onto a university. And just start poking my heads in the psychology department and saying, who wants to talk to me about amphetamines and ADHD? Just talk to me. And I found the one person who pulled up a chair and poured me a coffee and talked to me for 2 hours and was a friend. And I think if there's one thing you can take from this video is that if you feel like you don't have a friend, you just have to go way out of your comfort zone. And maybe they're not going to come knock on your door. And maybe what you're looking for that moment isn't going to knock on your door. Because my friends, you know, the study of ADHD and stuff, none of my friends are as interested in it as I am. But you know who is interested in it as I am? You know who's read a lot of the same books I have? These people. It doesn't go over their heads. I say things they've heard, they say things I've heard, and we've both formed opinions and we shared. It was a beautiful moment, not to happen on camera. I wasn't going to film it secretly. I was an honest person. I was kind. And I had to go. I could have talked to this person all night probably, and maybe we'll have a friendship. But what was amazing about it was I wanted to entertain you with conversations of ADHD, and I provided a few of those in this video. But the message I want to portray to you, viewer, be it ADHD or anything, is that following that little funny impulse to knock on doors and ask questions is a beautiful thing, and social media is ruining it. And I'm so glad that I'm doing it, and I hope I inspire you to find someone to talk to who's not in your immediate life about your special interest. And we go back and forth here on this channel about medication, and it's a big choice. But at the end of the day, and it is the end of the day, the sun's going down. We're all just people trying to live our lives, and it's better when we're together. I love you all. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. stick around. I have some documentary style stuff coming. I'm getting over the like, well, no one read my book, nobody likes my channel, and we're gonna have some fun. So stick around.